Did you know that you can embed an interactive Tableau dashboard views into your website, blogs, company portal, and other web pages? While embedding the dashboard views, we can keep the look and feel same as that of the web page. This is really helpful while showing analytics on company websites or portal and keeping the same branding format and style. Also, when the underlying data is updated in the dashboard, the embedded views will reflect those changes immediately. In this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you the two simple ways to embed an interactive Tableau dashboard on any website. The first one is using embedded code provided by Tableau in Tableau dashboard view, and the second method is by using iframes. Also, I'll be sharing with you on how to use parameters to customize the views while embedding a Tableau dashboard. Having said that, let's get started. Welcome back, this is Gurpreet from DataViz Canvas, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you two simple ways with which we can embed a Tableau dashboard on a web page. So in order to do that, first of all we need a HTML page where we are going to embed our Tableau dashboard. So that HTML page can be a website page, blog page, or even a web portal on your intranet in the company. So for that we need any text editor tool. You can use TextPad, Notepad, or any other you like. And for this tutorial I'm using a free online version, the trial version, using Whisk. So that's the text editor tool which I'll be using in this tutorial. And I have already created a HTML page, just a basic, where we have nothing in that HTML page. So it's a blank HTML page, as I haven't put anything in the body section, body tag of the HTML page. This is our first starting point, and we want to embed a particular dashboard into this page. So how we can do that? So for this tutorial purpose, I'll be using my Tableau public profile, and I have picked up project management dashboard. So I'll be using this particular dashboard for demonstration purposes. So first of all, we will go to the share object icon, and I will click on that one. And you will see there are two options, embed code and link. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the tutorial, so there are two different ways with which we can embed a dashboard. The first one, which we are going to learn now, is by embedding the code, which is already provided by Tableau on the Tableau dashboard view. So we will simply select this and copy it. And once we copy that, we will simply go into our text editor tool where we have the HTML code, and we will paste that in the body section of the tag, and it will look something like this. I know there are too many things, so I will just clean it up a little bit, and I will just align the tags and everything, and which I have already done before here. So it will look something like this. So in the body we have a division tag first, object class tag, and then all the parameter names. So I can just align it like this, and after that we have the scripts. So by just embedding this, you will see the dashboard has appeared here. And I have done nothing but just copying the code from the Tableau share section and then pasted it. As simple as that. And you will see this web page will look like this. You can add the text or the blog, anything above or the below of this dashboard, and design it the way you want it. And the dashboard is embedded, and when you hover over it, it will work exactly the same way as it is on the Tableau server, online, or even Tableau public. And you will see here we have the toolbar at the bottom, and there are a lot of parameter options which we are gonna learn now, and how we can customize these toolbars and few other things. So let's look into it. In order to add the toolbar parameter conditions, let me show you quickly the default parameters. So as you can see here, we have all the default parameters provided by Tableau when we copied the embedded code from Tableau dashboard view. So we have toolbar value already set to yes by default. So what we can do here is simply go and change it to no. When we do that, you will see on the dashboard on the right hand side there is no toolbar. So at the bottom, there is no toolbar anymore. So all that information, whatever was there, was gone now. So if I change it to yes, you will see that it will appear again. So all the arrows and replay and other things reset are appeared. So that's how the toolbar parameter is set. And let me zoom in a little bit as well. So if you see here, these are all the parameter values: parameter name, parameter tabs, toolbars. So here the toolbar value is currently set to yes by default. So I have just shown you how to change it to no, and the toolbar will disappear. And there are other parameter values as well which are present there by default. So we'll be adding few more just below here, where we can see how these different parameter values will have a different impact on the view of the dashboard layout in terms of the headers, the banners, the toolbars, the sharing objects and other things. So the toolbar is done. So the next one which we need to look into is the tooltip. So that's again the similar to this one. So we will just add parameter name just at the bottom here, and you will see parameter name tooltip value equal to no. So by default, when we hover over to these ones, no tooltips are appearing. But if I change it to yes, and we try to hover over to these one, you will see the tooltips are appearing now. So by default, the value is yes. So we can override this value to no if we need to by just changing the parameter name, by adding it a new row in the parameter name tooltip and changing the value to yes. So going to the next one is share option, show share options. So that's another parameter which will help us to control whether the share options are displayed in the embedded view or not. So as you can see here, let's go here, and you can see the share option is available by default, and you can see the embedded code and the link. So if we want to disable it, I will simply go here and add parameter name show share options value equal to false. So when I do that, you will notice that the share icon is disappeared from the toolbar. So that way you can update this as well if you don't want to share, give the option to the user to share this dashboard with anybody. So I will set it back to true. And the next one is the filter option, which is quite handy and quite useful, where we can set the filters to a default value in the web page when a user opens a dashboard. So in this case, by default, we have the project status set to all the values. And let's say I want to set the project status to closed by default when the dashboard opens. So I will simply go here and I will say parameter name equal to filter, because I'm going to use the filter value. And in the values, I will say I want to use the filter name. So in here, in this case, the filter is status. I mean, the dimension which I'm using is status. So I will say status equal to, and which value we are using. So I want closed tickets in this case. So I will simply say closed, and I will close the tag. And you will notice here the dashboard is by default updated, and it's only showing you all the closed tasks. And if I want to change it to open, it will change all the stats on the dashboard to open. So by default, whenever somebody is opening the web page, the default value of the filter we can set here by just adding this parameter. So this is quite handy actually. And if you want to keep all the values, so just don't enter anything, just keep it blank and it will show you all the values for that particular field. Then the next one is the custom views. So custom views is again like for Tableau server and online, you can enable or disable the custom views by simply adding a parameter value of custom views. So we can do that by just adding it here. Parameter name custom views value equal to no. So in the Tableau public profile, there are no custom views here, so you won't be able to see it. But if you are embedding your Tableau server dashboard or Tableau online dashboard to a particular website or web page, you can enable or disable the custom views by just entering this code. And moving on to the next one is show data details. So that's again a parameter which we can allow the user to view the data detail when the Tableau catalog is enabled. Well, again, you can if you have Tableau catalog enabled, you can try this this parameter value as well. So the syntax for this parameter value is simply show data details value equal to yes. You can enable and disable by doing yes or no in this case. So let me remove this. Okay, and the next one is the data detail parameter. So this parameter helps us to hide the data detail button in the toolbar when we let the user to see the details about the data used in the view. So we can simply go to the parameter value and we can type it in and set the data detail values to no, so the user won't be able to see the data details in the toolbar button. And also there are a lot more parameters which we can simply add it into these codes and enable or disable, and accordingly the layout or the toolbars can appear or disappear. So let's say I want to disappear it here and change the toolbar value to no again. So you won't be able to see that, and I will change the share option to false as well, and that option will be gone as well. So now we have only the download options. So I will be sharing the link in the description below where you can see all the object parameters for JavaScript tags. So this is how you can update or embed the Tableau dashboard to any web pages using the JavaScript embedded code provided by Tableau. Now let's move on to the second method where we'll be using iframe tags to embed the Tableau dashboard. So for that, let's try to use another dashboard. So let me pick up another dashboard, which is the memory game which I built a couple of years ago. So let's go into that dashboard. You can try it with any dashboard you have. So we will simply again go to share icon and copy the link. So I will copy that link and I will then go back to our text editor. So first of all, I will delete everything in the body tag. And here I will paste the link which I just copied. So once I copy that link, you will see here in the HTML page, you will only see it as a text of the link. So this is not what we want, right? So we want to add the iframe tags in between. So I will write the iframe tag here, and I will say iframe source equal to, and put it in the quotes, and I will end the quotes here, and then I will close the iframe tag. So once I do that, you will see the dashboard will come here, but right now it's not coming here. So let's copy the entire link here, and you will see the dashboard starts to appear here, and here I have added the width and height and the link of the dashboard which we just copied. And if you notice here, let me just put it into different lines. So these are the two different parameters which are provided by the Tableau link by default. And you will see here the dashboard. If I just show you here, the entire dashboard is on the web page, and it works the same way. When you hover over, you will see the tooltips, and even when you click in this scenario, it will work the same way as you are expecting it. So this is a memory game, so when you click, it will match. If it is matching, you will see number of clicks, 0 score. But when I want to turn it back, you click on that and it works the same way, and this is what the expected behavior which I was expecting. So let us go back and see how we can add more parameters. So I will show you the Tableau website, which we have it here. And here we have all the URL parameters for iframe tags, the data details, the show data details, alerts, custom views. So this is the different syntax which we have as compared to the JavaScript tags. So the one which I showed you earlier are here, the data detail tags from JavaScript. So the syntax here is just adding the parameter name tag. Whereas if you scroll down here and when you go to the iframe tags, the syntax is a bit different. So you just have to put semicolon and then the name of the parameter and then the value. So something similar to like this one. So here we are saying show data details equal to yes. So we simply have to add this in our URL link. And that way you can see here we have a lot of different formatting. We can say display the view as a PDF or PNG file. You can update the format, or also you can render the view using the standard DPI dots per inch for high resolution displays. You can also use all of these different parameters like refresh equal to yes. So whenever user opens the dashboards, the latest data from Tableau server is refreshed at that time. But we have to be mindful at that time, if the data is too large, then it might take some time to bring that page up on the screen. So also you can render, revert, show app banner, show ask data. So there are a lot more parameters as compared to the JavaScript provided by Tableau. So let's try some of them here, and I will put the link of this page where you can see all these list of parameters in the description below of this video. So let's try a few of them. So the most important thing which we need to keep in mind while using iframe is that we must include two parameters whenever we are using iframes. The first one is show with home. So there's home, and by default we should always keep it to no. And the second one which we need is embed equal to true. So these are the two parameters which we should always have it in our iframe parameters while embedding the dashboard using iframes. So now let's try a few of them. So the first one we should try is toolbar. So let's try toolbar. So I will simply say toolbar equal to no. So when I do that, you will see the toolbar at the bottom will disappear. So there is no toolbar at the bottom. And we can also show the same thing by disabling the show share option. So we can add that parameter as share options equal to no. And you will see here it will disappear from the toolbar at the bottom. So just the syntax, we don't need spaces here. And you will see it has disappeared from the bottom here. But now the toolbar, you can see it here. So if I remove this, say the toolbar is equal to no, and you will see there is no toolbar at the bottom, but we will see the share and this option. So now let's try another one if we want to say tooltips. So right now we can see the tooltips when we hover over. So I will simply add tooltip parameter equal to no. And you will see here the tooltips are gone. And also with the toolbar, there are other options like toolbar equal to top. So what it will do is it will bring the toolbar at the top of the banner. So you can see it here, it's at the top. So we have three options basically, yes, no, or top. So if we do it no, it will completely disappear. So that way you can play around with all these options and you will see how these ones work. And we can try a few other one as well. So let's go to our web link, Tableau web link, where you can see we have show app banner, where you can hide the open in Tableau mobile banner in the mobile web browser. So you can try that if you're using mobile apps. Show ask data, it's quite useful as well if you are giving your power user an option to play around with the data using ask data option. So you can hide that button as well. So show share option we have already discussed. Show with home, so that's the one by default, we need to keep it to no. So this will show or hide the content navigation interface of the Tableau public. Set to no when embedding visits in other web pages. By default we always kept it to no while using Tableau public. So while using Tableau online and Tableau server, this doesn't matter. So this is only for Tableau public. So while using this particular example, that's why I've set it to no by default. We can also set the subscriptions to no, the tabs to no and yes. Toolbar we already discussed, it's displaying by default at the bottom when this parameter is not set. When you set it to no, it will remove that toolbar from the dashboard, or you can also move it at the top of the dashboard. And also with the tooltips, as I've shown earlier, tooltips are displayed by default in the view, so we can disable it by just changing the parameter to no. So I hope you guys like this session and you will be trying different options, different parameters while embedding the dashboards on your web pages or websites or blogs. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions or doubts, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do so you don't miss out on any such new videos in the coming future. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.